Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger episode 38. So this was an okay episode this week. It was a little bit more of a filler episode by Kyuranger standards. I say that because it was kind of more filler, like I said. It was a little bit of a focus episode. No, I mean, not a little bit. It was a focus episode on Xiao, which was nice because he's my favorite. And it was a little bit of a lighter affair, but it was still moving the plot forward. Like, we started the episode by reaffirming the main goal and how we get there. And basically they need to get these 3 other Kyutama to add to the one they have to create enough energy to get through the base planet's shield. So my point about this little spiel here is that, especially I've been thinking about this with how much filler Power Rangers has been using recently, is that there's a way to do filler where you can sort of have a filler episode that allows you to do some sort of lighter stuff or do a character focus, but you can still be progressing the main plot. And I actually think Kyuranger's done a really good job at that. And I'm not trying to make it sound like this episode was amazing, but I like that style of having a filler, but then, you know, it's not meaningless or worthless or anything like that, you know. So I like that even though it was more of a filler episode, it was contributing to the overall arc. And basically we split the 2 teams up again. It was a little bit weird in the way they structured showing it, because it was like primarily Xiao's team which we focused on, and then we cut to Lucky's team for like a minute-long scene that basically showed us we got a mechanical version of Octopus Lady or whatever she is, and then we used them at the end for the cliffhanger, which brought it around in kind of a nice way. Because I remember thinking the episode, or near the end of the episode, I was like Bookisha! No, I was like, we didn't really need to go to Lucky's team. Like, I think there was a couple times like that in the arc where they were split up, where they flashed them and it was kind of needless. But it was kind of smart for them to use it at the cliffhanger, at the end for a cliffhanger to sort of get you to want to come back next week. I think what they should have done, instead of cutting to Lucky's team randomly in the middle, they should have just opened the episode by showing us both arrivals, and then just made it sort of clear that obviously Lucky's wasn't the primary target this week, and then sort of basically end-capped it. But that's like a minor issue. It just seemed a little weird since this episode was primarily this team. But everything else, it was pretty much a lighter affair. They had to go through these trials to be worthy to get this Kyutama filled up. And there were some bits that I thought were funny, some were a little cringy. It was kind of here nor there, but it was an interesting concept, and the core reason for it, other than, you know, getting this Kyutama, was a focus episode on Commander feeling a bit useless now that the team has evolved into not only just, you know, stronger and smarter warriors, but that we have like 2 leader-like roles on the team, being Lucky and Sergei. So, and then it tied into Sergei flashing back to his friend Crowman, Kuvira or whatever. No, Kuvira, that's a villain in Korra. I don't remember his name. Curvo, that's close enough. It's like Servo, but with a K. Anyway, about how he also used to feel useless when being next to Ho-Oh Soldier, but he sort of showed his friend that he had his own value, which was sort of the moral that Xiao had this week. And I thought it was a decent story for Xiao, both for some funny comedic bits and also, it was kind of, it made sense because he's the one that sort of united the team, who sort of went out on his own to essentially make himself a Kyuranger, and sort of it was this moment of like, well, you know, I'm sort of proud that they did a good job, but it kind of sucks that I'm kind of a background character now. But he ended up, you know, proving that he had unique value at the end by recognizing that the villain made Kyuranger clones. And so, yeah, it was all pretty basic stuff, but it was enjoyable. Like I said, there was some cringy bits in the humor, but I did find it to be mostly enjoyable. Like I said, we only flashed to the other team very briefly just to show that, what's her name, Makoto, the villain, she has like a mecha form now, and then the end cliffhanger was that she's making Champ go out of control, so we're bringing that back. I almost forgot about that from when he came back, that sort of out of control storyline, just because we were focused on the Lucky thing for a minute there, and then we had the week off, so I kind of forgot about it. But I like that they're bringing that back. I really liked that they used the idea of splitting the team up again, and I liked that they're galaxy trekking again. I thought it was interesting. I can't remember if this has happened before. I feel like it has, and it's something I've just forgotten, but that they're actually filling up empty Kyutamas as opposed to just finding already existing ones. Again, I'm either imagining that that's happened before, or it has. I feel like I'm like overthinking it, because I feel like there's a lot of cases where something like that will happen and I'll just forget it, and people are like, Dawson, you're such an idiot, you forgot that this happened, and Oshi no Kame can become arms and legs. So I don't know, but regardless of whether we've done it before, we definitely haven't done it up to the point where it's memorable, so I thought it was at least unique that we're making a Kyutama, essentially, rather than finding ones that exist. But anyway, overall, this was just sort of a decent-ish filler episode. I'd probably give it a 7.5. Next week looks to kind of be the same, actually, just in the sense that it looks like it's going to have some sort of silly, fillery moments, not from Fillery and Further, but some silly, fillery moments, but with a focus on Champ. So that should be interesting. We'll see. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Ryder, signing out.